Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Global Issues on Al Hikmat TV 24/7 online. We are very blessed and very pleased to have with us in Al Hikmat studio Dr. Mohsin Jaffer. Welcome to the show, Doc.
Thank you.
It's really a pleasure to have you with us in Al Hikmat studio. And to our viewers out there, Dr. Mohsin Jaffer is a very prominent community leader in the state of Florida and in the United States of America. He has over 35 years of medical services here in the state of Florida. He is the founder and the president of Senior Medical Associates. He's also the past president of U.S.A. Free Medical Clinics. You will hear all about that as we talk to Dr. Jaffer. But today, specifically, in addition to his history and his medical background, we're going to be talking to Dr. Jaffer a little bit about COVID-19, this global pandemic, this COVID-19 virus. We want to get his advice on some prevention, medication, prevention to building your immune system, all the different things in the prevention world that can prevent someone from getting COVID-19. So stay tuned. You're going to learn a lot from Dr. Mohsin Jaffer. Beautiful, Dr. Jaffer. So after saying all of that, I would like to again say it's a blessing to have you. You're such a busy person. You got all these medical clinics all over South Florida, and you're a man traveling all over the world. So thank you for taking the time to come into Al Hikmat studio.
Thank you.
Good. So coronavirus pandemic, this is a global issue, and that's why we're on Global Issues on this program today. We have, according to the present statistics, over 700,000 people in the world globally who have died from this pandemic in the world. Very soon it may go up to 1 million, but
easily.
May God save us. Let's hope we don't see that. But looking at the trend, anything can happen. Yeah. In the United States of America, today we have approximately 156,000 deaths. 156,000 deaths. So while that may be minimal in comparison to the cases, you're talking about over 18 million cases globally. 18 million cases globally, according to the present statistics of COVID-19. In America, you have over 4 million people. 4 million people who got this. This is big. This is a serious disaster. It's like a calamity. Yes. So what do you recommend to people, how they can prevent themselves from getting this?
It's a great question. I'll give salutations and gratitude to our Creator, who is so loving and kind, and give thanks for our life, our health, and our awareness. And I'm glad that you are on a mission to raise the awareness of your viewers.
Yes.
Because I think the greatest weapon against this calamity is knowledge. So let's start from the very beginning. There are many theories how this virus started. Forget all the conspiracies, but the fact is there was a virus in China.
Yes.
Just like there was a virus in the Middle East, we call it MRSA. There was the SARS, there was H1N1, there was Ebola. All these viruses came from a different source. We have viruses that affect humans, and I have viruses that affect animals. But if they jump from an animal to a human, we have no defenses because we don't know how to counteract it.
Interesting.
Just like the common cold. It hits you, you get a cold. But you don't have any medicine because it mutates and changes all the time.
Right.
So, and here is the greatest irony, that we are so powerful, so advanced, but we are succumbing to an entity that is not even considered alive. A virus is considered dead or alive. We don't even know what to call it because it's inert, really. However, if it invades a cell, takes over the cell, and makes thousands of copies, and those burst out and infect other cells, and soon overwhelm the whole animal, or if it's a human, the whole human. And every cell is affected by this virus, and it can kill you or you recover. How do you recover is the question.
Yes.
What makes you recover? And it's your immune system. Because today,
no, I don't want to sound like I'm disturbing your comments and your words of advice, but I want to be someone from the audience here also. As you speak, I'm going to ask you questions that they will be thinking.
Please do.
You see what I'm saying?
That's
I'm
good.
going to be that
I like this,
provocative
interactive
person, so it'd be an interaction.
Yes.
So before we get into how we prevent it and all this, on the media, we have a lot of fake things running.
Oh.
Could you share a little bit on that
Yes.
before we get into the real medical aspect
Yes.
of it? What are some of the things people got to be careful from listening on the news, because you might be saying one thing here and they heard some fake news, some things may be true, something may not be true.
True.
What generally could people be aware of?
Now, so this virus spread, not only from China, it spread all over the world, became a pandemic.
So that is truth so
Yes,
far.
there is no doubt about it. It's not fake. And let's compare a virus that we all know about, the influenza virus.
Yeah.
Every year, a new strain comes in, we get at least 20 to 30,000 people in America die. Worldwide, about 800,000 people die of flu virus.
On a yearly basis.
On a yearly basis.
700,000 to
Yes.
800,000 on a yearly
And
basis.
here is the irony. We have a vaccine that works, and we have treatment that works. And even then, in our country today, in America, we have 20, 30,000 people die every year. You see?
And in the world, over
Yeah.
700,000.
Yes.
So that puts me to another question.
Yeah.
I'm going to be
So
stopping
let me
you
just
here
finish
and
that
there.
thought.
Okay. Okay.
So you'd say, so what? Like a lot of our leadership and a lot of people said, so what? It's like another flu. But here is the thing. You remember the Spanish flu 100
Yeah.
years ago that killed 50 million people? Okay?
Yes.
And why? Because it spreads unchecked, untethered, no treatment, no vaccine. So today we found out from in the early days that the coronavirus was 20 times more lethal than flu virus. So we can easily expect, if we had even treatment and vaccine, to kill 20 times more than 30,000. So just figure that out.
Interesting.
600,000 people who died in America.
So
You
that
see?
brings us to the point
Yeah.
that this is very important.
It's
that
very
people
important.
should
You see,
not
now
take it
that
for
is
granted.
point number one, that this is a very, very dangerous virus. Okay. Now, what was most important for us to do? Testing and isolation, and then that was the whole thing, that you sequestrate these people with the virus so they don't spread. The whole idea of the virus is that if I can throw my virus at you, okay, through the droplets and through my speaking or shouting or talking, or even the droplets now we know stay in the air for 6 hours.
Yes.
And you can breathe them and get them in. And if I can give you my virus because I don't know I have the infection, this is a whole other thing. Most other virus infections, people get sick right away. So you know this guy is sick. Unfortunately, with coronavirus, people are infected, don't even know it. 80% will even go around without having any symptoms. But they are spreaders. They can give it to you and you will succumb or give it to your family and friends. So this is how the virus was spreading. So we had to contain it right away. Those countries who did very robust containment and in contact tracing and isolation are the most successful ones today. They have per capita much less mortality than we have as the greatest country in the world. That's an irony. We
Yes.
failed.
Yes.
However, take heart that our country has been the leader. We were the main participants of WHO, World Health Organization. We had a very robust CDC. We even had, for the last 2 presidential terms, a special pandemic task force in the White House, because we know this is coming. A lot of you must have seen Bill Gates' video,
Yes,
2015 said a pandemic is coming. He was right.
Yes.
It'll come and it'll jump from animals to men. It is inevitable. This is how we are expanding as a species, as men. We're not restricted in areas. We are going into all over the world and into wildlife and eating wildlife and going into other environments. These viruses will jump and become our killers. It's just inevitable. So we had a preparation. We had a task force in the White House. We had a robust CDC. All that has been gutted. We didn't even put our representative in WHO for last 2 years. And we were the leaders in setting up WHO. So we failed in many ways. So now you as a viewer has to tell yourself, this is my body, this is my life. Because a lot of people may get the virus and have no symptoms. But a lot of people get virus and die. Terrible. But some of them get the virus and become crippled for the rest of their lives.
Right.
Their lung system, their heart system is damaged. And they suddenly, from being a healthy person, are now cripples for the rest of their lives. And may shorten their lives also.
So when you're saying that our medical experts in America, those who are in charge of this pandemic sort of prevention, should have come up with a vaccine or something before
No,
to
the vaccine
prevent
only
it
comes after you find
the issues
infection.
happen.
You
Or they
see,
should have come up with some mechanism to prevent it, prevent an influenza or major flu that is coming by.
You see, we learned it from Ebola. You heard about Ebola was
Yes.
in Africa.
Yes.
Containment. If you can contain the virus from leaving, now if the Chinese had done a better job and contained it in Wuhan only, it would have not spread outside China, you see. And they were hiding it, and they even, whatever is the politics, I don't want to go into that.
But what could have the U.S. government do, or the CDC, or whoever were in these areas responsible, that could have prevent, or whatever they could have done to bring it, to control it in some way or the other, any sort of influenza virus that may come by? I understand it got to happen first before you do something, but what is there as a prevention?
This is the wisdom of our nation. We had people in every class 4 lab. Class 4 is a lab where you have all this viruses are brought in and whatever infections in the countries. We had people in Wuhan, but we removed them. We had people in WHO. CDC was more robust. We gutted it. You see, so our prevention and response time was completely
Excellent.
depleted.
So if we had those people there,
we had these
they
people.
would have
We had
been
the ability
able
to respond. So you see, if the moment you found out that there's something sinister happening, a bad virus has come into our being, you contain it.
Excellent.
Don't let it spread. And while you have contained it, start finding a vaccine or treatment and so on, which takes a long time.
So it got out of hand.
It got out of hand.
That's the problem.
And it should have been an endemic. It became a pandemic. By March, we declared it pandemic.
Yeah.
And if I'll give you an example. If our country had done a lockdown 2 weeks before, we would have had half the cases of death today. Just that simple. Because one person gives it to 10 other, 10 gives it to 100 others, and 1,000 others. Very soon, everybody is spread all over. And we didn't talk about masks. We didn't talk about social distancing. We didn't talk about all these precautions that could have been the simplest measures, cheapest measures. We didn't have enough masks. We didn't prepare for this. So we as a nation were caught flat-footed.
Speaking about social distancing, and we're going to jump around here because, again, I am being the advocate for the audience there right now. I'm going to think, as you say something, I want to say what they would be thinking and asking you. We hear about 10 people, crowds, but does that really, that's a prevention line, but does that necessarily prevent a person from getting this virus? Or is it one person can give this virus to somebody? And this is what a lot of people thinking. I can go hang out with this one friend. I can hang out with these 2-3 people. But when the crowd gets big, I'm going to stay away. To me, that does not make sense, because it doesn't necessarily mean someone down the 50th person can give it to me. It can be the very same one person in front of me.
The person you trust, because he even doesn't know that he got the virus yesterday and now his body is spewing it out. So you see, that's the whole thing. That's why the mask has become so integral part of our prevention strategy. Because if I wear a mask, I'm not giving you my virus, God forbid if I have it and I don't even know, and I'm reducing the chances of receiving it from you or somebody else that I meet. So it reduces the transmission. So we are breaking that cycle.
Definitely. So for our viewers worldwide, Dr. Jaffer, because we got viewers all over the world, you'll be amazed. Every corner of the globe, people respond back to us.
Remarkable.
On social media. Yeah, I mean, I hear of places in Africa that I've never read during my college and university days.
Yes.
And they comment, this is so interesting. So your advice and your message will really be global and going worldwide. So if they are not noticing the screen, I want them to know that we're talking about masks, but we got a screen between us.
We got a screen in front of us, yes.
You see, one camera may not pick it up, and the next one may not pick it up. So if they're not seeing it, we want to let them know, because you know what's going to happen? I'm going to see a message, you guys speaking about masks, and you don't have a screen.
Talking without a mask, yes. You want to see our mouth moving.
Yes.
That's why we have a screen, yes.
So to continue, Dr. Jaffer, what do you suggest to someone and to our viewers there? What could people do to build? You know, I've seen a couple of your videos. I've seen a couple of your mini videos that you sent out, and I love it. And I want to let the viewers know we need you to stay tuned or get your friends on, because we're going to ask Dr. Jaffer on something very interesting that he shared on some of his videos on breathing, on sleeping, and building your immune system. I love those things, and that's why we really feel happy to have you with us on the show here. Between those three things, or among those three things, what do you suggest to our viewers here that they can do to build their immune system, that if they get the attack of this COVID-19, their body will be able to resist it and fight it?
That's a very good question, because even today, even in the most advanced countries, if you get diagnosed with COVID, they'll tell you stay at home.
Interesting.
Yes, until you get sick, very sick, then you come to the hospital. So you're right. I don't even know if there'll be a hospital bed for me, or there'll be a ventilator for me, God forbid, because you could suddenly have a big surge of cases, and there are only so many finite ICU beds and ventilators. So what if I get the virus and I'm able to resist it? Now that'll be success.
Of course.
So what can I do to prevent, to at least augment my immune system? So let's understand what happens. If the virus comes through my mouth, through my nose, or through the mucous membrane of my eye, that's how it penetrates in the body. The skin is very good, okay? It doesn't allow it to go through, but it's these open areas which will allow the virus to come in, settle down, start multiplying. So prevention is the first thing. Mask, hand washing all the time, washing your face also. If you're going in big, even wear goggles and so on, that'll be good. Also not touching the front of your mask, because that's where the virus may be sitting, and then you put it in.
Yes.
So all those free precautions you've heard about, you've seen a lot of videos on it. What's next?
And that's what we hear a lot, Dr. Jaffer. Everybody is telling you that on television. But I'm sorry to say, I'm not seeing the media, the major media channels telling people and teaching people how to build their immune system. That if you get it, if you got the attack of it, how this body should fight that. That's where we come in.
In the winter season, you get colds, right? And in your office or in your home, everybody got that virus because it spreads around.
Yes.
But one person is well. He never got the virus, so she's so healthy.
Very interesting.
Why? Her immune system is so strong that the virus came, and the body says, we don't like you, and we make antibodies and kill them. You see, we are equipped. We have to be so grateful to our Creator. We have a wonderful system. If any foreign bacteria or virus comes into our mouth or anywhere, our body will immediately mobilize our immune system, which means they will recognize that this guy is foreign, he doesn't belong. They'll make the T cells will come, antibodies will be formed, and they'll kill them and eat them and digest them. And that's the end of the infection.
Subhanallah.
So how do you invoke that response? that immune system, that's the secret. So one person has got a very good immune system, one person has got a weak system. What is the difference? Now, we have elucidated some things that may help you become the strong guy, the healthy person, the strong immune person. Now, some people have chronic diseases, lung disease, heart diseases, immunological problems and so on, cancers and whatnot. They bring down your immune system, and those guys are most susceptible. That's why most people are dying from this are seniors, because the immune system is much weak.
Yes.
So no matter what age you are, you have a chance to make your immune system better. Number one, who's the best friend you have in your body? It's your blood. Very important fact to remember, all your viewers, that the best doctor you have is you.
Interesting.
And who does the work is your blood. It rushes around, it heals you, fixes you, and rejuvenates you. So get your blood rushing around. How do you do that? Exercising. Walking is a very good exercise. Now, in this COVID era, you can go out with a mask, or if you are out alone, you don't even need to wear a mask, and you can be out there, get fresh air, get sunlight. Sunlight is good, stimulates your immune system. Fresh air is good. Get out of the cooped environment, go out, okay? And exercising where your blood is rushing around. So your immune system is primed to respond to these viri. Number two, get enough sleep. A lot of us look at sleep like a waste. You sleep for 8 hours in a day, what a waste.
Yeah.
Medical science tells us you must get 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Too much is not good, but too less is not very good at all.
Of course.
It's very damaging.
I used to once upon a time thought when I was younger that sleeping 8 hours was wasting time.
True.
But do you know now?
Yes.
And after understanding the Quran and reading the Quran, Allah tells us so many times, I've created sleep for you. I've created this rest for you.
Yes.
And I'm so glad that you are mentioning this
Yes.
as something that builds your immune system in this time of COVID-19. And our Prophet, peace be upon him, he used to go to sleep immediately after Isha prayer in the night. If you calculate that at a 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 10, right? Let's say 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're getting at least, in those days in Saudi, you're looking at 8 o'clock. You see what I'm saying? So you're getting 7 to 8 hours sleep.
Very
Look at
good.
his life.
I did a video on sleep. You can show it to your viewers. But sleep, there's cycles, and it's in you go there, you go deep sleep, you come up, REM sleep and all that. But the bottom line is that sleep is a time when your body repairs all the damage done. It takes away the bad cells, the cancerous cells. What is cancer? When my cells start multiplying crazy, and our immune system says, no, you don't belong. They kill you and take you away. If they leave you there to multiply, you die of that cancer ultimately.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
So this is unchecked bad cells. Bad things happen, damages happen because of oxidation and whatnot. So repair, rejuvenation, and preparation for the new day. That's why you wake up fresh, renewed, energy. Even if you did a lot of exercise, you've got muscle pain, you'll see by morning you're fine, because your repair took place while you were sleeping. And that also is another way to augment your immune system. Very important.
So part of building
Sleep.
your immune system,
Yes.
you should ensure that you have 7 to 8 hours sleep
Exactly.
every day.
Like people watch TV and all this media and phones, that blue light is bad.
Of course.
You can't fall asleep. So, so that's a whole different topic.
And they go to sleep to 3 o'clock, and they're
Yeah.
back 6 o'clock, get up to go to work for 8 o'clock. That is very damaging. I think this is so important. People need to know that those are the things that can get someone to be attacked by COVID-19.
Yes.
Their body will not be able to fight it.
Not a bit, because you're not well primed to take on this attack by the virus.
But I like the point you mentioned, and I'm sorry to say this, I'm not the doctor, you're the doctor, right? And this is interesting. So some people come to me and say, Sheikh, I think I want to go take a COVID-19 test. And I'm like, listen, are you having any symptoms? They said, no. I said, coughing, breathe, problem, short breath. They said, no. I said, I'm not telling you don't go and take the test. But I just have one little advice. What are you going to do when they give you the test? You're going to come back home. You don't know if you have it or you don't have it. What are you
Yes.
going to do in those days? They said, well, we're not sure. I said, so why don't you? And why do you have to wait to get a test to be told that you're positive before you start eating healthy
True.
and taking proper medication and trying to get rid of COVID from you? Why don't you take those same things before you go for the COVID test, weeks and months before and right now, so your body has exactly what you're talking about, Dr. Jaffer, the strong immune system that you can fight it.
You mentioned two important points, breathing right. We are all breathing from the mouth a lot. Breathe from your nose, because that's God has given you filtration system and warming system and hydration system. The air that comes in may be dry, it wets it. It may be dirty, it cleans it.
Interesting.
Yes, and it may be cold, it warms it. Beautiful. Your Lord has created you in such a remarkable
Wow.
way that as a physician, I'm in awe every day about this beautiful body. That's why
Allahu
it
Akbar.
bothers me that most of our brothers and sisters don't take care of their body. It's a
Yes.
gift from your Lord. It's a wonderful gift. Take care of it. You know, a lot of people, especially people of faith, say, oh, it's in God's hands. I live or die. But no, God has given you life. That's a gift. You take care of it. Life and death is not in your hands, but as long as you're alive, it's in your hands
Yes.
how well you live.
Of course.
So please take care of this body. So number two, you also mentioned was eating. Food is so important. You see, you are what you eat. So your nutrition is absolutely necessary if you want to augment your immune system. What you eat. Many of us overeat. Don't eat overeat. It's stress on your body. So just eat enough. In fact, the prophetic medicine is that you do 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. 1/3 food, 1/3 water, 1/3 air. We always overeat, especially that biryani you serve in
Of course.
in your functions. But eat right. Eat lots of fruits and vegetables, because we're not meant to be eating a lot of meat. It's only occasional. We don't need so much meat. And cut down the unnecessary calories you get from the fats. Okay, they are necessary, but too much is bad.
Yeah, I don't want to cut
So-
you, Doc, but we have been talking for 30 minutes now. Would you believe that?
Wow.
More than half an hour.
Okay.
So we got to go on a short little break.
Okay.
And when we come back, just, you know, we will talk to the audience and we want you to share your experience and knowledge a little more on that breathing. I love that. That makes a lot of sense. What exactly people need to know, what they need to do, and some more advice and some of the kind of food that will be of real high nutrients for the human body that again builds their immune system to prevent this COVID-19 from throwing them down, what I would say, from
Yes.
killing them if it attacks them.
Yes,
If it attacks them, their body can fight it. So when we come back, stay tuned. Those of you who have just tuned in, we have been talking to Dr. Mohsen Jaffer, a man in 35 years of experience in the medical field in South Florida. He is the president and founder of Senior Medical Associates, and he has a lot of experience and knowledge on the immune system and building your body, which is more important. And a lot of times I tell people that more important than taking a medication. If you can build your body, you will not need the medication.
True.
Because as he said a little while ago, God has built this body. This is a moving hospital. So stay tuned. When we come back after the short break, we're going to continue with that advice on your breathing and your eating, what is best for you. Inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum. Allah gives hikmat, wisdom, to whomsoever He wills. And whomsoever is given wisdom is certainly given a lot of good. Only the people of understanding will benefit from the reminder. Tune in to Al Hikmah TV for khutbahs, lectures, and Islamic reminders. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Global Issues on Al Hikmah TV 24/7 online. Again, it's a pleasure to have with us in Al Hikmah studio Dr. Mohsin Jaffer. And for those of you who just tuned in, he's a man with 35 years plus experience in the medical field here in the United States of America. He's the founder and president of Senior Medical Associates, and I want to make sure I have that name correct. He is also the past president of U.A. Free Medical Clinic here in South Florida. So stay tuned as we continue our conversation with Dr. Jaffer on how to prevent and how to fight COVID-19. I just want to put it, I think that's interesting, how to fight COVID-19.
Yes.
All we are hearing, Dr. Jaffer, is
Yes.
this one got it, this is how many people get it, and that is so depressing. I think that is so depressing, it's so frustrating. And we're not hearing how to fight COVID-19. We need to fight COVID-19.
Yes.
Why should we let COVID-19 fight us?
We are armed with ability to fight any virus
Of
or
course.
bacteria coming in with our immune system. If we can strengthen it, so much the better.
Allah has blessed us, right?
Yes.
With this body to fight it. So could you start by telling us a little bit on some breathing exercise that I think is going to be so beneficial? Because when we talk of COVID-19, we talk of the lungs being blocked and people cannot breathe, and that's one of their biggest problems. They got to go into respirators, and that's half of the problem. But if they build their lungs and they build their breathing ability and strengthen that,
Yes.
they might be able to fight it. What are some of the things they should do?
See, over the last many centuries, our breathing capacity has gone down. Our nose and our sinuses have shrunk. So we have lost a lot of our capacity to breathe. So we want to keep whatever we have at maximum. In fact, a good study was done in Harvard, the Framingham Health Study,
Yes.
which was studying heart disease and so on. But they found out one very important factor of longevity was your breathing capacity. So please keep your breathing capacity high. I would strongly advise you, whenever you are conscious, put on your phone a star, or on your TV, refrigerator or screen or whatever, and it reminds you, start breathing through your nose, like 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then through your nose. If you are in a hurry, then through your mouth.
People should do that every day as
All
an
the time.
exercise?
Breathe that way. Yes. Then there's other methods, your yoga breathing, the Kapalbhati and the pranam and whatnot, and the Chinese systems. For centuries they've been talking about it. But breathing has been an important factor of how well we do. So you can look up in the
Yes.
internet, there are plenty of ways to learn how to breathe better. But the bottom line is, just close your mouth, and even at night, a lot of us are mouth breathers. Because when you're a mouth breather, your mouth dries up. It becomes susceptible to virus and bacteria taking hold. So
Interesting.
people who are mouth breathers are more susceptible to lung infections than those who are nose breathers. In fact, now you can get in the internet tape to put on your mouth, so you only breathe through your nose.
Some people
It's cheap.
Some people may need that tape all day.
All day. That's another story.
So let me ask you, Dr.
Yeah.
Jaffer, what about exhaling through your mouth? Which is better, to inhale and exhale through
your nose.
nostrils?
Nose is meant for breathing, mouth is meant for eating.
So that's very important for
Simple.
audience
Yeah.
to understand.
Simple. Yeah. Nose is for breathing, mouth is for eating.
So people should get accustomed to trying to inhale
Through their
the
nose,
nostrils and
yes.
exhale through the nostrils.
And when you breathe like this, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you are expanding your lungs. You see, the lungs have got tremendous capacity.
Wow.
But most of us are shallow breathers. What a mistake. If you look at the cross section of your lung, it goes down and then breaks out into 2 big tubes, and finally the littlest tube will break out into balloon-like structures. That's your alveoli. That's the business end of your lung, where oxygen, carbon dioxide is exchanged. From the air it goes into your blood supply, and the carbon dioxide leaves the blood supply and comes into the air, and it needs to be taken out,
So
expirated. So many times you get short of breath is really because you have not taken the carbon dioxide out of your system. That's why you're getting short of breath.
Okay.
So you take deep breath in, and then take a long time to empty your lungs.
So the important thing we're saying here, people should not wait to get COVID-19 positive test before doing this. The advice
Strengthen
to
your
our
lungs.
viewers and audience here, please, they should practice this on a daily basis, morning, lunch,
As
evening,
often as possible.
and keep this system strong.
Yes,
that
so your lungs are strong. So God forbid if you get infection, you're well breathing, because lung needs exercise, and opening up all your alveoli and then collapsing them, opening up is a great way to keep them healthy, because lung is a very important site for the virus to hit you. The other thing is your diet.
Yes.
Fruits and vegetables will be very important. Cut down the amount of meat you eat. A lot of people ask me about supplements. What should I take? You know, multivitamins are not necessary if you take a good diet. But if you want to, you can take a multivitamin. They say vitamin D, if you are short on vitamin D, your infection chances are higher. So it's just while COVID is on, when you get your blood tested, ask your doctor to do vitamin D3 test. If you're low, then you need to take supplements. Otherwise, just now during the COVID, take D3 vitamin, 5 to 10,000 units, just to sort of augment your body. Then the other things are the spices that we use, you know, the ginger, garlic, cumin, turmeric, and black seed.
Yeah.
So many of these spices that we commonly use are your best friends. Use more of them. So I would tell people who don't have Indian or Asian cooking, start putting more of those things in your diet, because the Asian cooking brings a lot of this in.
Of course.
Even chilies are good for you.
Yes.
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 So all these things are created by your Lord. We don't really need
So
to
Allah
take pills.
Allah
Yes.
created this body,
Body.
and He created the provision.
All the
for this
things you
body.
need is out there.
Wow.
What we do most of as Americans, we only have 10 different dishes we eat. And we eat processed food. We don't eat fresh, plant-based diet. Do that. And you will just augment your immune system. And it will be a good lifestyle change forever. A lot of people say, why COVID? What happened? God doesn't love us. I said, no. Throughout history, throughout time, we get tested. This is our test. How you respond will be the way how you overcome.
course,
Some of us may succumb and die. That's God's wish. But those who want to do the best, to have a satisfaction that I did my best, my time was up. Take care of your body. Become a better exerciser. Start watching your diet. Breathe better. Another thing is hydration. You know, we are 70% water.
Yes. Yes.
Most of us in America are running around like prunes. We are dehydrated. And when by the time we feel thirsty, we're already dehydrated, especially as you get older.
Yes.
So I've got a simple test for you. Watch your urine. When you go to the bathroom, if your urine is yellow, you are dehydrated. Have at least a glass of water. And if you are well hydrated, your immune system is stronger. So if I'm well hydrated and a virus lands in my nose or my mouth, my body will be better capable of fighting it than if I'm dehydrated.
Excellent. Before we went on the short break, Dr. Jaffer, you mentioned something about the body and taking care of the body, and a lot of people have this misconception, well, it has been written when we will die, and it
Yes.
has been written that we will die, so we don't need to. But I think what these people fail to realize is that God is the one who has given us life. Yes, He has written when we will die, and the day we will die, and where we will die. We don't know where we will die and when we will die. But He has also given us a prescription in
Yes.
the Quran. The Quran tells us
Yes.
that He created all these food, honey,
Yes.
olive oil, corn,
Yes.
grapes. He has given us a list of things that while you're alive, He says, this is what I want you to do, and this is how I expect you to eat. And I think this is a point that a lot of people miss.
Yes. And this is what we've extracted from the Quran and the Ahadith, the Tibb-e-Nabawi,
Yes.
the medicine of the prophetic medicine. And this, you're right, a lot of these foods are mentioned, and also like don't make your stomach the graveyard of animals, you see.
Of course.
So, and one third I said how you eat and how you take care of your body. And I take care of seniors, you know, 65 and above, and I tell them, today you got two choices. Either you live healthy and be healthy until the day you die, or you become sick, wheelchair, nursing home, and then rot in your nursing home until you die. Which path you want to take? Of course, they want the first one, you know, they want to be healthy. So if you want to be healthy, you got to take care of this body. You can't just be fatalistic and says, I'm going to die. Yes, you're going to die, but until you die, you want to be healthy. And that's what I'm glad your show can tell your viewers, that your health, your destiny is in your hands.
Of course.
How long, when you'll die is not in your hands, but as long as you live, you can be as best a custodian of this most valuable gift your Lord has given you.
I like that. You know, you were saying that, Dr. Jaffer, and as a medical person, medical experienced person, and what is coming to my mind, the prophets. Our prophets, all the prophets of God, were very healthy people.
Yes.
Very healthy people.
Yes.
Very healthy people. Look at Moses, peace be upon him. I mean, whoever fell sick here and there, it was some test that God gave them
Yes.
to go through as a trial period. It wasn't about not being healthy. But you look at Moses, look at Jesus, look at Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, Abraham, Solomon,
All of them.
Listen, these people were phenomenally healthy.
Yes.
Unique, strong. They could have done anything. And that's a sign, because God gave us strong prophets. They gave us strong message, and their body was strong because they ate healthy.
And they were living examples of how we should conduct our lives, spiritually, mentally, and physically, how to take care of his body. And they were guides for us in all these three aspects of our human life.
Yes.
And a lot of people who become religious just concentrate on spirituality, but they forget that their duty is to take care of their mind and body also.
Excellent. So we have almost come to the end of the program. We got about 5 more minutes to conclude the program. So I want to leave it all up to you as our guest.
I want to leave your viewers with some positivity.
Yes, feel free. Let us
There
know.
are 14 vaccines in trials. 5 of them are in China, and today some of the leaders are we have Moderna vaccine and we have Oxford vaccine in UK. In fact, one company in India is already manufacturing that vaccine in a hope that it will be approved. So there is hope that by the end of this year we'll have a vaccine, and God willing, if all our 7 billion people can get the vaccine, then we have overcome this disease.
Inshallah.
But let this pandemic be if we survive, God willing, then let this be a lesson to us of how important our lives are, how important our mind, body and spirit is, and our relationships. Because also another way to augment your immune system is relationship. Pick up that phone and call the people. Do something nice. An act of charity is a great way to increase your immune system.
Of course.
Doing something for others for no selfish reason is the greatest gift you can give yourself. Charity is like perfume.
Of course.
You can't spread it without having a lot left on your hands. So when you do a charitable act, even a smile is a charity. By the way, laughing a lot
Of course.
increases your immune system, and we don't laugh enough. We are too serious and too glum. Let's be like our prophet, be very jolly.
Well, you know, you said something there, and again, as you speak, Dr. Jaffer, from a medical point of view, it's bringing the spiritual advice to my brain. The prophet, peace be upon him, said exactly what you said
Yes.
there. When you keep good relationship with your family, with your friends, with your people, it gives you a longer life.
Yes.
Now, I've always pondered on that hadith. It does not mean that it extends the date of your expiration, but it makes you live a happier life, which gives you a lot
Quality.
of length. And that makes sense. And I always hear you say that. Laugh, smile, talk to your family and friends. That is very rejuvenating, and it strengthens you.
Yes.
There's so many things, but one thing we got to let our viewers know, Dr. Jaffer, whether it's COVID-19 or it's Spanish flu or Ebola, whatever it may be, there may be more diseases to
Yes,
come.
coming.
There may be more to come in the many years. We need to stick to the immune system building.
Yes.
We need to eat the healthy food. We need to have the proper sleep, the proper breathing, as you said, because people may think in the next couple months, COVID-19 is gone, so I can get back to my
Other
crazy
thing is
schedule.
stress. Stress. How do you handle stress? Stress is good.
Yes.
You know, timeline and all these dates and everything is good. How you handle it is up to you. And if you handle your stress well, your immune system stays strong.
So you are saying that as long as we build that immune system and we eat
Yes.
properly, whether it's COVID-19 or any other virus to come, at least you are well equipped to
Yes,
fight
to
the
fight.
virus. Beautiful.
God willing.
Beautiful. We are on schedule. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have had you with us in Al Hikmat studio to talk on this very unique topic, this global issue of COVID-19, which is a pandemic right now, and people like you are the ones who are very much needed to remind people and advise people. And may Allah bless you for coming to Al Hikmat studio so we can share with our viewers.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure, and I wish your viewers health, happiness, and longevity, God willing.
Jazakallah. Thank you very much. So you have been listening once more. For those of you again who would have just tuned in, we were talking to Dr. Mohsen Jaffer, a man with over 35, 36 years of experience in Florida. In Florida. So he has been all around, but Florida services in the medical field. He was the past president of U.A. Free Medical Services, and he is the president and founder of Senior Medical Associates. So he's a man in the medical field with a lot of experience, knowledge, and good advice to give. So you stay tuned, check him out on YouTube, check out the program on Al Hikmat TV, and we were blessed to have him with us, and we hope that you did enjoy his medical advice. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Always tune into Al Hikmat TV 24/7 online. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.